Hi guys, Lewis here and welcome to the latest edition of Piranha Bites. So, I'm not going to focus too much on DC this time for a surprise, but I've checked out a couple of indie books that I've really enjoyed, so I'm going to wax lyrical about those first. First up we have Basilisk by Cullen Bunn on Boom Studios, and he, I think, is really underrated, to be honest. A lot of his indie stuff tends to be really good. One I think of that I read quite a while ago, Dark Arc, that was really cool. Mainly known for Harrow County for his indie stuff. Of course, loads of years on Deadpool with God knows how many mini-series as well. So the deal with this is that the main character you're following is just hunted down someone, taken them hostage, and they were responsible for some kind of supernatural related atrocities that we're not fully in the loop about yet. And they have like a gang of people that they did this with, and we've not been introduced to them yet, and that's kind of where the story's going. And be really, because it's supernatural-esque and kind of thrillery, it'll be really interesting to see, everything about them, but their powers and their abilities, because the way it's set up in the book, they're really intimidating and like not to be messed with at all. So be really interesting to see how that unfolds. I really enjoyed it. And secondly, my other pick of the week, Out of Body by Peter Milligan on Aftershock. Again, criminally underrated Peter Milligan. Like, I always kind of joke he's like the forgotten cousin twice removed of the early British invasion with the Vertigo stuff. Because, yeah, you had Gaiman doing Sandman, you had Morrison doing Animal Man, Doom Patrol, you had Alan Moore doing everything, Delano doing Hellblazer, all that. Everyone forgets Peter Milligan was doing Shade the Changing Man. That was a really good book. But basically, this book, given away by the title, Out of Body, so centering around an out-of-body experience. Main character is in a coma, and he doesn't know how or why he got there. And he's a psychiatrist, so he's trying to use mental techniques that he knows about to access the recesses of his memory to find out what the hell has gone on. And in the background you have this subplot going on with this girl who's again kind of supernaturally gifted and can summon spirits from the other realm and all that. So then what that results in is him having an out-of-body experience, and that's trying to aid him in his investigations on what the hell happened to him and why he's half dead right now. Nice and morbid, and a great way to start your morning, because that's how I started mine. On to stuff that I just recommend because it looks really cool. Nice House on the Lake, new one from DC doing like another kind of wave of horror books on Black Label, and Tinian's been smashing it lately with almost every book he touches. It's going to be worth 200 quid the week later normally. Not guaranteed, don't take my word for that, but if recent patterns are anything to go by, that looks really cool. I really enjoyed the Hill House stuff they did last time, stuff like Basketful of Heads and Daphne Byrne. Those were really cool, all kind of headed up by Joe Hill. And this looks like they're kind of going for a similar initiative with this wave of books. And staying on a Tinian theme, Batman, find out what's going on with Miracle Molly and Ghostmaker. All those characters are popping up again and again and again, and be interesting to see where that goes. And also my kind of From the Vault Golden oldie pick, staying on the Tinian theme just a little longer. I love this stuff. His Detective Comics run, criminally underrated because it was happening the same time as Tom King's Batman. And don't get me wrong, I love Tom King's Batman. I think it gets unfairly maligned by almost every corner of the online community. But the Detective Comics run was great and kind of genius in its simplicity, because all Tinian really did with that was go, let's give Batman a team book. And then he did it, and you have characters that you don't normally get in there. You have your Cassandra Cain, you have Stephanie Brown as Spoiler, your Clayface is on the team for some reason. I can't remember why, but that was cool. Batwoman's there. In fact, a Batwoman title span out of that. And I love that character. I think she's really cool, really underused. So yeah, if you've not already, check out that Detective run. Really good. Now, moving away from Tinian, but staying on Batman, Batman The Adventures Continue, Season 2. Or as I call it, The Adventures Continue. If you liked the last one, you'll like it. It's more of the same. Very animated series in tone and style. Go to that book for some nice throwback 90s nostalgia. Another one, after being delayed more than once, Batman Catwoman issue 5. Now, I've got to admit, I'm a bit behind on this title, but what I read I was really enjoying. I tend to read Tom King's like sort of 12-parters in bulk once they're done, and this is no exception. I gave the first 2 or 3 goes. I like where this is going, but I'm too impatient, so I'm going to be even more patient by waiting for all of them. Work that out how you will. It works for me. Either way, pick it up because he delivers more often than not. This one's a bit of a weird one for me. Crush and Lobo. Now, I'll be the first to admit, not the hugest Lobo fan. Not really read a lot of him, and well, there's just not much of him really. He normally appears in other things, and he's kind of cool in those. Like I really liked him in Injustice, for example. With Crush and Lobo, the draw for me is that it's written by Mariko Tamaki, who I think is really underrated. So it'll be interesting to see if she can maybe change my mind on the character. On the Marvel end, Heroes Reborn, Jason Aaron continuing his quote-unquote redemption in my mind anyway. I think I said on a previous one though, using the Squadron Supreme is almost a cheat code for me because I love those characters. So I'm kind of invested before I even read it. Also, this one I'd like to pick out, Iron Man Annual. And the main reason for this is that it's not the regular writer Christopher Cantwell, who's doing a good job anyway, but it's Jed MacKay. And the reason I'm saying paying attention to his stuff is he's going to be the guy writing the next Moon Knight run. And we at Piranha Comics love Moon Knight. He's a great character. I call him schizophrenic Batman. It annoys a lot of people, but I'm sticking to that. And yeah, Jed MacKay will be writing that. So if you want a sample of, you know, his capabilities and how good he is as a writer, that's his latest thing. Also, check out the most recent Black Cat stuff, like the last run, because that was him. And surprisingly good. Like, I was like, it's a Black Cat comic. What's it got to offer? It's a pretty fun ride. Surprised me. And then lastly, because I'm a massive Star Wars fan, to remind you all that War of Bounty Hunters issue 1 is out, because the last one was Alpha, because they can't just stick to numbering and make it easy. And that's, you know, my picks of the week, the things I recommend checking out. I'll see you guys next week.
Piranha, fight, fight, fight. Piranha, piranha, fight, fight, fight. Piranha, piranha.